share of the Hudson Tunnel is just not the way they want it. They say federal loans should not count towards your local share, and they seem pretty adamant about that and haven't changed their position. What does the Port Authority take? How does the Port Authority take that as the new project sponsor? And are you talking to New York officials about the federal officials' concern with the source of the local funding?
Well, this is an issue that's been on the table for several months. The USDOT has expressed that point of view. We have expressed our point of view that it's clear from both the language of the statute and the history of the administration of the programs that federal loans repaid by local funds have traditionally been counted as local share, and there's that is where things stand. The Congress has expressed its views, or at least Mr. Frelinghuysen has, in terms of the history being that funds, that local share is appropriately recognized by local repayment of federal loans, and what has happened in terms of the Portal North Bridge is that it has been granted an extension to remain in the current development phase in order to and try to work out issues in terms of moving to the engineering phase. And the Port Authority, as tunnel sponsor, has filed a similar request for an extension of time, and that's really where things are. And we are going to continue to work to convince USDOT with a number of allies that they should view loan-supported funding as continuing to qualify as local funds.
So to follow up, say you're right on the merits. Say everything you just said is correct. You're right on the merits, but they hold the cards. They're the feds. You want their money. Why not just? I mean, is there any room to just do what they say? Or is it worth putting up this fight?
Well, the Congress is a major player. Congress provides funds, and so we're working both with USDOT and the Congress to wind up with a funding scheme in order to enable this most critically needed project in the entire country to move forward.
Okay, so to wrap it up then, you're relying on Congress. Is this to say then nothing is going to move until the November elections? What does that do? What does that do if you have, I mean, let's just say you have to wait till the November elections. You're talking about politicians. What does that do to the actual timeline or the port's efforts to get this project going? If you have to wait?
We will have to deal with what comes when it comes. We are going to continue to be as strong an advocate as we possibly can to move this application forward, to have the funding commitments that have been made by the state of New Jersey, by the state of New York, and by the Port Authority, all supported by federal loan programs, that should be viewed as more than adequate in terms of local funding to move the application from development into engineering.
Do you feel a little left behind that New Jersey put up their local funding in a way that was more palatable to the feds? That on the Jersey side, that they did what the feds wanted them to do?
We applaud the state of New Jersey. We remain convinced that local funding repayment of federal loans should be counted as local contributions.
Rick, can you give us an update on the minimum wage issue and where they stand with the airlines and their problem with it?
Well, both the chair and I spoke to it at the meeting. That's where it stands, which is that given the 4 issues which had not been surfaced before that were raised in the initial comment period, management's recommendation to the board, and the board approved the recommendation. We have provided for an additional comment period of 30 days, which will expire in mid-August. We intend to take the comments that are received in that during that comment period, to review them carefully, to develop recommendations for the board on those issues, and to develop record support for the $19 minimum wage recommendation that was contained in the original proposal. And we intend to move that package to the board at the September board meeting, and we are fully 100% committed to that schedule.
The entire board is committed to having that pass September 27th.
Can you talk about what you said about Mayor Fulop and your discussion with Mayor
he
Fulop
just,
today. What
yeah.
did you talk about? And
Sure. Mayor Fulop reached out to me this morning. He was going to speak at the meeting, which I welcome. I've known Mayor Fulop for a long time. And he had a discussion dealing with some platform issues. He had a meeting with me, my chief of staff, brought the superintendent and the chief security officer, village involved, had a very productive meeting, which we'll be following up.
which platform issues?
Just traffic, platform, and some other issues that he was concerned about.
He's been on social media complaining about path service, and he had told me that he wasn't really getting much of a response from the Port Authority. Do you think he was satisfied today? Or?
Well, listen, he gave me a text message, and I met him a half an hour later, so I thought it was pretty good service. And we have planned to meet with senior staff on several fronts. Two different meetings, both from what we can do to help the move service along in Jersey City and also from a public safety standpoint. So we have asked our senior staff to reach his senior staff. He was really happy with that meeting. So happy he decided not to speak publicly.
Chairman O'Toole, can we get an update on the the badges and the police escort investigation?
Sure. The badge is an inventory is being done, has been done by IG, and essentially there is going to be a future report that's going to suggest to us strongly as to which of those individuals should have badges and which should not. Those dealing with emergency management, security. We have not seen that report yet. The badges, the cosmetic, as I said, badges that were given to Rick, myself, and the other commissioners have been voluntarily given in. So that answers, I think, that question. I'm hoping by the next meeting we'll actually have a full report as to which employees actually will require, from the public safety standpoint, having a badge.
Okay. And for the police escort,
Sure.
that officer?
Sure. We were briefed today in executive by the Inspector General and senior staff as to the issues dealing with escorts. And I will tell you, prior to May 15th, there appeared to be not a whole lot of rules and protocols in place governing police escorts. So we have got a significant and deep briefing by the Inspector General, Chief Security Officer, Superintendent, giving us at least 11 recommendations, which the Executive Director and I are reviewing today, and we intend to sign off and have them implemented as early as tomorrow.
And will they be made public?
Once they're adopted, yes.
Once adopted.
So significant ground is made in that front. Yes, sir.
Question about the Waterfront Commission, and has the Port Authority taken a position on this dispute between the Waterfront Commission and New Jersey?
Let's ask counsel. Michael, have we taken a position on that?
No, we have not.
Why not?
Historically?
Isn't it an issue on which the Port Authority should have a strong opinion, one way or the other?
We have not taken. You have an opinion?
Well, I would just say, obviously, the Port Authority wants security and wants background checks and all of the current duties that the Waterfront Commission carries out to be carried out. The question as to how the states decide they want those duties to be carried out, those that currently reside with the Waterfront Commission, and that represents formal decisions and votes by the states, is really appropriate for the states to decide. But right now, the Waterfront Commission is carrying out all of those duties. There's no change.
Does that mean that the Port Authority accepts that the New Jersey State Police could carry those out in lieu of the Waterfront Commission?
Well, our view is simply that those duties and those authority need to be carried out, and I think the decision as to how they're carried out is up to the two states.
Last question.
I appreciate the questions. Anybody else? Thanks. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thank you.